Tonight on CTV, a man was found dead near Horsetooth Reservoir after being reported missing.
Colorado universities are spending more money than they're making.
And the race for mayor in Fort Collins now has 2 candidates.
All this and more, starting right now.
Good evening, I'm JJ Mckinney.
And I'm Bella Walser. A suspicious death happened last weekend, and the Larimer County Sheriff's Office is asking the community for information. Paul Gallenstein, a 64-year-old man, was found Sunday morning on the Foothills Trail near Horsetooth Reservoir. First responders located the man and pronounced him dead on scene. The cause of his death is still under investigation. Anyone who was near Foothill Trails on Sunday morning or may have any relevant information to the case is asked to contact the investigator, Ryan Adams, or the Crime Stoppers of Larimer County for those who wish to be anonymous.
The Fort Collins Police Department is being sued in federal court for allegedly violating a man's civil rights after arresting him for excessive force. Andrew Kulas and his lawyers claimed that he was body slammed, choked, and pepper sprayed from an unsafe distance. The crime? Resisting arrest and a citation. Kulas' arrest occurred on August 2021 in Fort Collins near College Avenue. Kulas is seen here on body cam telling the officers that his friend's girlfriend was assaulted, where he seemed to be getting frustrated at the officers' handling of this case. Fort Collins police officer Avery Hanzulzek wrote Kulas for a citation for petty trespassing to Kulas, which he didn't accept. Officer Kevin Park then tried to put the citation in Kulas' pocket, but Kulas backed away with his hands up. That's when Park took Kulas to the ground. Fort Collins police cleared the officers of any wrongdoing, stating that Kulas was resisting arrest. That night, Kulas suffered permanent damage to his vision in his left eye from the pepper spray. Eventually, his charges were dropped. Now Kulas is suing the department in federal court for violating his constitutional arrest, even stating that his arrest was wrongful.
I-25 heading southbound is set to temporarily shut down for 16 hours this weekend. The Colorado Department of Transportation announced that lanes heading south from Mulberry and Harmony Street will be rerouted. Crews will install drainage pipes, hang multiple overhead road signs, install new electrical elements, and finish concrete. The closure will begin tomorrow, September 15th, at 7 in the evening, and is set to reopen at 11 the next morning.
The majority of athletic programs at Colorado's universities are losing more money than they make, and CSU appears to be losing the most. A recent report from the Office of the State Auditor highlights a pattern among different Colorado universities. Athletics expenses are often higher than profit, so universities have drawn from tuition and state funds to cover the loss. CSU was no exception, as the university reported around $28 million lost because of athletic spending in 2022, making it the highest in Colorado. To make up for this debt, institutional support from Colorado State has gone from $11 million in 2013 to $20 million just this last year. Colorado State University defended its spending, saying the athletics program is an essential part of the CSU community, and they will continue to operate with an eye on fiscal responsibility.
The Fort Collins mayoral election will be a 2-person race after all, between current Mayor Jennifer Arndt and candidate Patricia Babbitt. Both are registered Democrats, however, the two still have different perspectives that are important to keep in mind come November. Babbitt currently teaches at Front Range Community College after working at Colorado State University for 17 years. While the two candidates both agree on focusing more on transit, Babbitt believes she offers a unique perspective as someone who does not drive. She also thinks there are more conversations to be had about the Land Development Code and the development of the Hughes Stadium land. On the other hand, Mayor Arndt was first elected for mayor in 2021. She is a former Peace Corps volunteer, a special education teacher, and a school principal. Arndt said that housing and population growth will be important conversations during election season. Babbitt's name will not appear on the November 7th ballot, so voters will need to write her name in. Adam Carlson will give us the thunder and bring the rain with the weather update after the break.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Good evening, Rams. My name is Adam Carlson, and I am here to tell you all what you need to know about the weather for this upcoming week. Currently outside, it's cloudy, 52 degrees, and rain is starting to hit campus and fast. Many events are getting postponed or relocated around campus as a whole. Weather conditions have to be considered. It might be time to add a jacket or umbrella to your backpack if you don't have it already. Now, tonight, in the western slopes, we've got everything around those 30s and 50s, 56 in Grand Junction. Craig and Telluride giving a low at 38. Then when we look at the eastern slopes and the I-25 corridor, it's all around the 50s. And Colorado Springs giving us a shocking 49. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be a little cloudy yet again, a lot like today, similar weathers. A nice 69 is our high and 46 is our low. Sunset at 7:09 and a little windy at 6 miles per hour. Now heading into our weekend and next week, you can see that we're just around those 70s and 80s, but when we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, more cloudy weather on the way. And that brings me to the end of my weather forecast for you all tonight. As time continues, we are getting into my favorite time of the year and the more exciting part of the year with unexpected weather. Here's JJ with more of tonight's news. Stay safe, Rams.
Thanks, Adam. LGBTQ plus representation and acceptance is reaching an all-time high, as according to the Williams Institute Global Acceptance Index, more than 56 countries all over the world have seen an increase in LGBT plus individuals coming out. However, anti-LGBTQ opinions still exist, with anti-LGBTQ bills being pushed in state legislators across the country, causing concern for youth in LGBT communities. In response, nonprofit Out Boulder County is ensuring that LGBT plus teenagers in the state have everything they need to live safely, happy lives, and they're taking their mission to Northern Colorado. We would like to advise viewers that this story does contain situations including self-harm. The nonprofit is reaching out to youth in Weld County and Larimer County after a Healthy Kids Colorado survey showed that over 40% of the students in the LGBTQ plus community hurt themselves, compared to 19% of straight students, with 58% of Larimer students that identify as other admitting to self-harm. NOCO nonprofit United Way reached out to Out Boulder County for help, where both groups plan on expanding services. These services include therapy, support, leadership retreats, and other mental health resources. The project also helps to give even more support to LGBT plus students in rural communities that may need more school youth support. With so much support coming to Northern Colorado, students across campus have ideas about what the LGBT plus community in Fort Collins can expect.
Yeah, ideally it would be stuff like the preachers are not allowed to come on campus anymore. Like people don't get hate crimes. Like that would, like in an ideal world, like that stuff wouldn't happen. But yeah, again, like there's a lot of stuff that could be improved in terms of like safety and acceptance, but it's like at the same time, like we're doing a lot more like comparatively, I guess, in terms of like supporting folks and making sure they feel safe and like validated in who they are. I would say my biggest like form of advice to people who honestly haven't been involved in a space, like that's kind of the situation that I was in before even being a queer individual, is just simply education. I think everything begins with just what you learn. It's part of the reason of what I want to do when I get older, to just be able to teach people, because if you don't know, how are you supposed to act in those spaces, as well as provide those spaces for people who might not come from the same background as you, or maybe even come from the same background but have different experiences and perspectives because of it.
So the biggest thing is more accessibility to all gendered restrooms in dorms. Our keys will not scan for bathrooms that are not on our floor, which is bizarre. So more accessibility to all gendered restrooms would be crucial. And then secondly, all gendered housing, as some of the dorms, especially Summit, is known for it. More of that would be really awesome, especially in the cheaper dorms, because it's a little difficult to have to choose between not living in all gendered housing or getting to, but having to spend quite a bit more.
Latinx Heritage Month is starting at Colorado State, celebrating the many identities and experiences within a culture. While Latinx Heritage Month officially starts tomorrow, El Centro started off the month early at yesterday's launch event at the LSC.
So what today is about is celebrating the Independence Days of several Central American countries and also Mexico. We're going to be having Bachata Denver teaching us how to do bachata, having some time to do some dancing. We have different student organizations that are tabling tonight, and it's just going to be a lot of celebration and joy.
El Centro organizes the month every year, bringing together a community.
It just helped me find my culture and be able to express that more here on campus. In high school, I didn't have that many people that were of the same culture, so it was fun to share it with other people.
El Centro is just one of the clubs available for the Latinx community.
The club is called Orgullo, which means pride in Spanish, and it is an organization that centers the experiences of Latinx people on campus who are also LGBTQIA+.
What I think is also really important to know about this community is just how incredibly diverse we are, and that we are not just one type of experience, that we are multiple types of experiences and histories, and all of that really, really matters.
Garmin wanted this year's programming to focus on the inclusiveness within the Latinx community.
We are celebrating Latinx culture, but everyone is welcome. We're very happy to share our culture with everyone and bring people in.
It's an opportunity to celebrate, for us to see each other, and for us to know that we matter and that we belong here at CSU, but that we also matter and we belong with each other.
The launch event was just the first of more than a dozen events set to happen within the next 2 months.
This week's career fair ended with Education Abroad. More than 200 programs that showcased culture from across the world were open for students to look through. CSU staff, faculty, returning abroad students, and program providers were on the scene to answer questions and to provide insight into prospective students. If you were unable to attend the fair, not to worry. The Abroad office will hold more information sessions throughout the semester. We'll be right back after this break.
But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Welcome back. Tate, Paisley, and Dakota, Kendall are here to take us through the Fort Collins Horsetooth Festival.
Thank you, Bella. Fort Collins celebrates multimedia brilliance as the Horsetooth Fest takes center stage. Join us as we guide you through a world of creativity, culture, and captivating films here in the heart of vibrant Fort Collins.
Hi, I'm Tate Paisley.
And I'm Dakota Kendall, and we're with CTV.
And we're here at the Horsetooth International Film Festival located at the Elizabeth Hotel in downtown Fort Collins.
This festival hosts various films, music, and art presentations here in the NoCo area and beyond.
So come with us and explore.
The Horsetooth Fest was founded in 2018 with the intent to establish Northern Colorado as an international destination for filmmaking and other forms of media expression.
Same time that I first came to this film festival, and that's where I saw the incredible work that was being done by people. I mean, I was just like inspired by the films I saw last year, and just like I said, I want to do this. And at that same time, just by life coincidence, I retired. And so there I was with this inspiration and all of a sudden the time and some resources on my hand. It was like I had to do this. And so I just jumped right into it.
Beginning as an international film festival, the Horsetooth Fest has expanded to multimedia, inviting all forms to be seen. The mission of the festival is to inspire and provide an international platform to spread knowledge and creativity.
You know, it actually started as the Horsetooth International Film Festival, and we rebranded to be Horsetooth Fest to invite more of the public out and make it something that people could have a good time coming to, whether they were into film or not, with the idea that it hopefully exposes them to some of the film that's happening, and then having people realize, oh, you know, that was actually really cool too.
We go all around the world, and it really depends on the year, but one year we had a film from every continent, including Antarctica.
Filmmakers have been coming in from all over the world to share their art with friends. Among these international filmmakers is Michael Goodman and Adam Linkeld, who have traveled all the way from Los Angeles to share their work with passionate filmmakers just like themselves.
I don't know, you were at the first one, right? Like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I just make it a point to come back because Colorado's so pretty this time of year, and what's better than hanging out with your friends and drinking beers and watching films all day?
As this year's festival comes to a close, there are already plans and preparations in place for next year that promises to be bigger and better than ever before.
I think it gets to a point where it's as big as South by Southwest, probably even bigger, and to a point that it's going to get so big that we are going to be able to have like monthly events, just like Sundance does. And something that I really want to get to is have the Horsetooth Institute. And what that is a way for me to go out and find filmmakers that are doing stuff, and they're like just so close to getting there, and we just help them finish it out.
Thank you guys so much for joining us at the Horsetooth Fest.
Back to you in the studio.
Make more films because I'll watch them.
As the curtain closes, the Horsetooth Fest leaves an undeniable mark on Fort Collins as it ignites a passion for storytelling and inspires future filmmakers to keep on creating.
Back to you guys.
That was pretty fun. I mean, I've been to like multiple festivals, but what about you?
I haven't gone to a festival since high school, and the one I went to was a music festival. So I haven't gone to any art festivals like that yet, but I want to go. I want to go next year because I was not aware of what was going on this weekend.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I love film festivals. I even got to go to one in New York, and that was a pretty fun experience. Yeah.
Really? Which festival?
It's like, it's for high school too, so it was like an all-American high school film festival. So saw a bunch of great movies.
That's
it was a really
really
fun
cool.
time. Yeah.
That's awesome, especially in New York.
Especially. Nice. Well, Cans Around the Oval, the annual canned food drive hosted by CSU, is set to take place on September 18th. The food drive is a 37-year-old tradition that aims to collect food and raise money for the Larimer County Food Bank. Their goal this year is to raise $60,000 and 15,000 pounds of food. The nonprofit organization is also hosting a celebration the following Wednesday.
Well, that's all the news we have for you today.
Here's Zoe Weir with a rundown of the Rocky Mountain Showdown.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
What's up, Fort Collins? My name is Zoe, and welcome back to another week of CTV Sports. The week is finally here. In just 2 days, the Colorado State Rams are heading to Folsom Field to take on in-state rivals, the CU Buffaloes, for the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Looking at last year, you would think this is going to be a great night to be a Ram. However, unless you've been MIA the last 7 months, we all know that football in Colorado has changed for both teams. Just last season, the CU Buffs had a record of 1-11. So we never saw them in the media, and they were literally the worst college football team in the Pac-12. CU Athletic Director Rick George was tired of the Buffs losing and knew changes needed to be made. However, nobody was expecting this much change this fast, as they seem to have taken over all of college football. Boulder has to take a chance, so why not try NFL legend Deion Sanders, who was the Jackson State head coach? And his story is most definitely one for the books. Sanders had a 26-2 coaching record during his 3 years at Jackson State. He took 2 back-to-back Southwestern Athletic Conference championships and broke the program record by having an 11-win season in fall 2021. Sanders was able to land the highest recruit of 2022 amongst other highly recruited players, one of them being his own son. His success at Jackson State was to no surprise with all of his experience and talent in the sport of football. As soon as he made the change from Jackson State to Boulder, all the lights were on the school. Sanders flipped this team around completely and made multiple hires, with one of the bigger ones bringing over Kent State head coach Sean Lewis to join him and take the role of offensive coordinator. Lewis created a well-known offense over at Kent State and took an overall 24-31 record during his time there. He was also able to take his team to 2 bowl appearances and a Frisco Bowl victory in 2019. The CU coaches have definitely been flipped, and it's looking like this coaching team could be making history. Let's dive into the players and get a feel on how this game could be playing out. Starting quarterback for the Buffs is junior Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur had a lot of success at Jackson State, where he played for 2 seasons. Shedeur continues to play on, as he has already broken the record at CU with 510 yards at their season opener. The Rams starting quarterback this Saturday will be the usual backup, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi. The sophomore came in late in the 3rd quarter when the Rams took on Washington State, and he got the offense moving. Fowler-Nicolosi has earned a chance to start this week and looks to keep the energy from the previous game. Sanders has completed for 69 of 89 passes this year, 903 yards and 6 touchdowns. These are some impressive numbers for only having played in 2 games so far at a new school. Fowler-Nicolosi has completed for 13 of 20 passes, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Both of these quarterbacks have some amazing offensive weapons that will be helping them move the ball this Saturday. Sanders will be handing the ball to CU running back Dylan Edwards. Edwards has 15 carries so far this season for 79 yards, leading to 1 touchdown. Fowler-Nicolosi will be giving it to Avery Morrow. Mayoral is at 11 carries for 29 yards, and both teams have top wide receivers in the country. Deion Sanders brought none the less but Travis Hunter along with him to CU. Hunter is an outstanding receiver who gets after the ball on offense and defense. The Rams have Torrey Horton, who had 8 touchdowns last season and is taking the role of being a main target for the Green Gold. So far this season, Horton has 81 reception yards and 0 touchdowns. He's an explosive player, and these numbers are looking to change this Saturday. Hunter is at 119 reception yards and is also looking to put up his first points of the season. Hunter and Horton are 2 main players that could really change the game. Both are on multiple watch lists and were high recruits. The Rocky Mountain Showdown is sold out, and CSU is opening up Canvas Stadium for a free watch party. It looks like the state of Colorado is showing up and showing out to take on College Game Day. Deion Sanders and all his new coaching staff have changed CU completely. But that's not to say that CSU hasn't made changes. It was only 2 seasons ago that Colorado State hired Coach Norvell and Coach Savage, who was the Mountain West Recruiter of the Year. The Rams head coach is already saying some competitive words when just last night in an interview, Coach Norvell stated, "When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me." This is being taken as a jab to Sanders, but both teams will let the game do the talking. The buzz has been all about how many transfers CU got once Sanders became the head coach, with an astonishing 53 players, which, yes, it's a lot of changing around. But Colorado State wasn't that far behind when they signed 30 new players to also change the setup. And well, Rams, there you have it. Saturday is going to be electric with over 50,000 fans in the crowd and more on the outside. Make sure to tune in next week to hear all about how it went in Boulder. As always, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week.